Hi everybody and welcome to this new series called Fusion Fossils. Fossil Pokémon are a widely popular Pokémon category, mainly due to their unique designs and prehistoric inspirations. I'm pretty sure most children at least once had a dinosaur or a fossil phase, and some adults have them too. In Generation 8, Game Freak did something completely different. Instead of the usual cool-looking fossil duo, they introduced us to these 4 cuties. Each fossil Pokémon is a mix of 2 Pokémon. This is based on the real-life fact that back in the days, fossils were often mixed up and put together, even though they didn't belong together. These fossil Pokémon look rather goofy, which is the reason why a lot of people dislike them. I have to say I wasn't the biggest fan when they came out, but they definitely grew on me. And the concept of mixed fossils is really cool. I mean, they're basically Pokémon fusions. So I want to do something similar, but a bit more chaotic. For context, I teased this in a previous video. At one point in time, the Moonlight Desert in the Jermanzburg region, my personal Fakemon region, was hit by the legendary Fakemon Mametorite, which messed up the whole place, including the fossils that could be found there. They were partially destroyed and flew around. Due to the cosmic energy of Mametorite, these fusion fossils got revived. In this series I will make 2 fusions for each duo and something special for any additional fossils. As of right now, I have no plans to fuse fossils across the different generations and regions. However, if you want to see that, please let me know. Today we will cover the fossils of Generation 1 with the iconic duo of Omanyte and Kabuto. At first I just roughly threw together the body parts of Omanyte and Kabuto, and then I just redrew the results properly. Both base Pokemon are not very complex, so I didn't have that much body parts to work with, but it would be pretty obvious that I would somehow incorporate the shell of Omanyte. The eyes of Kabuto gave me some parasite vibes, so I went with the idea of a small injured parasite Pokemon looking for a shelter, since parts of the original fossil were destroyed and it no longer has something to protect itself. However, due to the impact, the shell of Omanyte also got a bit damaged, but it's better than no cover. I imagine this Pokemon rolling around, because even though it has a lot of legs, they are sticking out of the shell and it can't really use them because the shell is not very flexible. So it has to wiggle the shell around until it gets to spin and can move some meters. And here it is, Carbonitas, a water and dark type. For the typings I will use whatever I find fitting, since I want these Fakemon to also stand on their own and not just be replicates of the original fossils. Also, for the names of these mons I will be fusing the original Pokemon names. However, if you prefer them to have new names, you can suggest them in the comments. I just didn't have time to figure out names for all of them. I'm more than open to change the names and give them more personality if that's what you prefer. And now to the second fusion. It again is a pretty simple design, Omanyte's body under a Kabuto shell, as expected. This one is definitely the closest one to my artwork fusion, I guess, which made it easy to draw but also a bit boring, because there was not much I had to do. Not gonna lie at that point. I wanted to give it Omanyte's eyes at one point, but they just looked very goofy and didn't fit, so I didn't do it. Instead, I turned Kabuto's fake eyes into actual cute button eyes. They used their arms to make a bigger silhouette and scare off predators, which works if it's dark, but not in the daylight, since they're just these cute little squishy balls with a few tentacles, and yeah, you wouldn't be scared of them. And here it is, Amonito, a bug and ground type. I did not give it the water type, since Carbonitos already is part water. It's just a cute little guy wobbling around. But would you catch it? So, I have to be honest. When making these fusions, I kinda forgot Aerodactyl. Okay, wait, what's the name? Aerodactyl. That's how you pronounce it. I forgot Aerodactyl exists, and like it's not part of the duo, so I just forgot about it. But when I remembered, I decided to do something a little different. Not a fusion, but a defusion. I removed features of Aerodactyl and switched and reinterpreted them and made this. At first, while looking at the inspiration, I wanted to make a weird land mammal, but when I made the sketch it kinda looked like a weird dolphin. And when looking at the colors, I realized I could make a pink Amazon River dolphin fake one. They have long snouts and a row of teeth and are just adorable. Unfortunately, like many animal species, they are endangered, which also fits for a fake one based on a fossil Pokemon, even though it's really sad that they are indeed endangered. And here it is, Aquadactyl. I switched the arrow part, which means air, for aqua, meaning water. It is a water and fairy type, which I believe is a pretty common typing for a fake one based on the Amazon River dolphin, because it's pink, so obviously it's gonna be a fairy type. So these are the first fusions of the first generation. Which one is your favorite out of these three? These ones are definitely the tamest ones, if I can say that. With the other generations I experimented a bit more, and like they are just a bit more spectacular in my opinion. So please look forward to them. Maybe if I finish all generations I will do some fusions across the generations, so if there are any fusions of fossils you want to see, please let me know in the comments, and maybe a short description how you imagine them. So thank you for tuning in to this new format. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know how often I will upload these episodes. We will see. See you in the comments.